And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Leo. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi. I'm gonna be your tarot card reader for today. Yeah, now we're into September and also in the Virgo season, time transitioning, things like that. Seasons changing. I can tell it outside. What we're looking at right now is your first and last. First and last is a style read I do where you have your beginnings and your ends represented by the aces. Always something new or an idea of renewal, opportunity, things like that, and that is the top row here, the aces. The bottom defined here by the tens. Tens, culminations, ultimatums, potential endings, good or bad, doesn't matter. Again, the read will tell you. As a preamble to my reads, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times when we do, when we're trying to push things away or say, that's not me, this is not the situation, etc., it either A, totally is not your read, in which case, you can be a Leo and still not have it be your read, right, Leo? But there's also the reality of, okay, why are we rejecting? And if it's everything that's making us uncomfortable on the board, then maybe that's something we got to stick with, right? So follow along with me as we explore your first and last in the month of September. Let's see what the cards say. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Leo. Ooh, almost flew out there. What are the cards that we need to see, please, for Leo and their not their one-to-one. We already did those. Their first and last read, there we go, month of September. We're starting now with this Ace of Cups. Emotional newness, emotional renewal. What does that look like? What are the cards that we need to see, please? First and last, month of September for Leo. Upon your Ace of Cups. Okay, the Fool. Very simple, starting out something new. Let's see what that entails. The shine on all my decks that I use in my sign-based readings, it's very reflective. So sometimes I'm wondering if the camera even catches it. Okay, alongside the Fool, Three of Wands. So the anticipation of this, I guess this has been held on to for a while. How so? Temperance, the card of Sagittarius. Okay, somebody or something is causing hope of a new beginning. Cool. A path has been forged. Either way, there's a level of excitement that wasn't there before. That's pretty much obvious with this Three of Wands to that Temperance. That level of excitement did not exist before. And now coming in, or we're trying to usher in, well, is this really, something I can do? Something that's not only practical, but something that has taken a while for me to A, be comfortable with, but B, just even imagining that it's a possibility, Leo, right? So your emotional newness here, it's kind of like a revitalization and like hope and the belief of what can be. I like that for you. Going to the Ace of Pentacles, what about the solidity of opportunity? Show Leo the cards I need to see, please, and that Ace of Pentacles. Yep, that's a break. Okay. Breaks in my style of reads, for those who have seen my videos before, they know this. It could represent, okay, eventually we might have to take a stop if it breaks a little bit too much, but it oftentimes means, Koi is kind of bad at shuffling. And guess what? Both could be true at once. Don't try to judge me too much, okay? Let's look at the Ace of Pentacles for your first and last read, month of September. Okay, Eight of Swords. I wonder why this appears like an emotional chokehold. Let's refrain for a second. King of Wands. King of Pentacles. Okay, got it. And that ties back to the Ace of Cups. Okay. So let's define this first. Eight of Swords, oftentimes detailed by somebody trapped in an open air cage of swords. The feeling of powerlessness, but also it's forcing you to make a decision with what you have at your disposal, what is left, Leo. And I can tell that because you have the King of Wands and King of Pentacles, King of Fire, the King of Earth. One says, I have the power of investment at my fingertips. The other is absolutely adamant that we can make the best of anything we are given. So the new opportunity, or at least what you anticipated, and that's probably why you're trying to have this emotional new beginning, right? Again, that hasn't been exactly defined yet for you, but recently there's been like a situation that's been not only A, disempowering, but B, forcing you to realize all the resources at your faculty, right? There's been a situation I'm seeing here where it's like you got back into a corner and then, okay, now it's time to make an actual choice, right? I can't pretend that I don't see what I'm seeing. So what am I left to do? Whatever I got, right? That new opportunity, yes, it's under stress circumstances, but you're also finding that you had a lot more at your disposal than you actually gave yourself credit for in the beginning. And that's probably why there's this level of emotional hope that you cleared out the way and opened up with. Okay, understood. Upon the Ace of Wands, show Leo on the Ace of Wands in their first and last month of September. What about the driving force of the human spirit, that which drives the fire signs? Well, all signs, but particularly fire, because you are fixed fire, Leo. What does it mean? See, please, upon that Ace of Wands for Leo. Knight of Wands, okay, the freedom of the soul. Placing that underneath the Ace of Wands, I'm seeing, almost like this childlike wonder and revival in the amount of energy that you hold. Five of Wands, and there comes the conflict, okay. Why externalized? Six of Wands, oh, a bunch of fire, okay. So what does freedom mean now with the barriers that are present? Got it. You pulled nothing but fire underneath your fire. Great. Now it's like so hot, we don't want things to be set on fire. Here, let me explain. The Knight of Wands, the first of the three set that you drew for your ace, represents basically knights are called to action under the element of fire. A knight is free to do what they want, but also freely explore the capacity of who they are, what they believe in, and the choices that they make fully in totality. Here, next to the Five of Wands and Six of Wands, I'm going to read those as a pair. One says recognition, admonishment, things of that nature where, hey, I'm seen, I'm valued, and I'm heard. And now the Five of Wands, a card of external conflict, but even more so energies that bump up against each other. Now we put that behind the Six of Wands of somebody who is valued and heard. Well, what do we do with the freedom that we have, right? If that knight is driving you towards the action, and yeah, you're being seen, you're being basically an idea or endeavor or the efforts that you put in, okay, now that eyes are on you, so is conflict, right? Now that's rearing its head again. And I think that, at least the spirit is ready and willing to say, okay, I can engage with this properly because I feel that I have a level of like just internal energy and freedom that allows me to say, okay, what do we need out of this? What can I do properly? What can I do moving forward? It's not a question of disempowerment, which you saw originally under that Ace of Pentacles, in which it was just backed into the corner. Now you're saying, okay, with what I have inside of me, all that energy, all of the intent and purpose, where do I go with it? Right? Because if somebody is seeing my efforts and value, then, oh crap, they're actually looking at me to make a choice. That's the position that we're in right now. Let's go to the Ace of Swords. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Leo upon the Ace of Swords, first and last month of September. of Fortune. Okay. So that things do, in fact, change with time if we allow them to. Sorry, I drank some soda before this. How so? Page of Cups, keeping the base level of happiness alive. What that looks like for you depends on the circumstance. Ace of Pentacles, believing in new opportunity that is actually true and therefore at your disposal. Okay, so I think this ties back to, again, the overarching theme here that we have the emotional breakaway, like the floodgates have opened for that emotional new beginning. Here, your fire, your home element. Okay, now that we have freedom, what does this, actually entail, and seeing the conflict that has been brought with it. Ace of Pentacles, making the right investment and understanding that, okay, yes, there was powerlessness, but it also left me to make the best and most right choice that I can. Now the Ace of Swords, sorry, we were just looking at the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Swords looking back over all of this and saying, okay, and now that we affirm that the solidity of this opportunity, we also have to say, as things change with time, the only thing I can do is my best, right? The Page of Cups, they don't, as I call these the kids of tarot, they represent the element in their purest and most vulnerable form, and simultaneously you can't balance huge concepts upon them. Here, we understand that whatever new opportunity, okay, it has worked out in our favor. I see that very clearly. We also see that this took a long while to move out of that Eight of Swords cage where we felt like we had no choice. Well, then now that, the opportunity did make its way, what do we do with that? And so there's the affirmation within your mind that not only is this real, but it is also valid. How do we make those things work out? Underneath it all, Nine of Pentacles, investment, but also the long-term work, right? We are choosing with that night to say, hey, okay, whatever the decision is right now, yeah, I'm happy about it, but it's time to dig in, right? Time to lock in, time to put our feet on the ground, or just say, here's where I am with it. Now let's push forward in the direction that we see most fit. Okay, I see that. Now going to your tens, endings, culminations, ultimatums, Leo. So those are the cards that we need to see. We start with the Ten of Cups for Leo in their first and last month of September. What about emotional harmony and synchronicity? That which we felt has purpose, but also that we align with. Because again, if you have purpose or find purpose in something, that's a clear and obvious break. And I didn't grab 4 cards. Well, let's take those. My rule is, hey, if it hits the table, then we have to take it. So, Eight of Cups. So something, a choice of abandonment, something was left behind. Okay. Strength, you, card of Leo, pulling your own card in your own read. Always good. Here, the fortitude of character. The Magician. I see where this is going. And the last, the Empress. Putting those together, yeah, whatever this was that was making you get disempowerment, which led to the new beginning, Leo, you finally made the choice to walk away. I have to have enough self-respect, enough intuitive fortitude, enough just being about me to say, hey, what's right for me is that I leave whatever was disempowering me behind. And with it came a whole new slew of both admiration, but also things that broke apart, and you knew that it would happen and you chose to do it because you felt it was the right choice. At least for the Leo that I'm seeing, right? This is probably why so much is riding on just this newness, this refreshment of spirit, feeling, and hope that you opened up emotionally with, because you had to make the choice, the right thing for me to do, grand scheme of things. This Leo got to walk away. That is the first and foremost thing. I got to leave this behind because I'm not seeing myself here with it anymore. Okay. Ten of Pentacles. Reveal the Ten of Pentacles in the read for Leo, first and last month of September. What foundations are we having moving forward? Oh, didn't hit the table, cannot take. So those cards that we need to see, please, upon the Ten of Pentacles. see how that was different from the cups earlier? Those cards got left on the table for a reason. That's kind of what I'm hitting at. Show us the cards that we need to see, please. Ten of Pentacles for Leo, first and last, September. Okay. And now we are finding what we actually want out of life. The Ten of Pentacles underneath the Ten of Pentacles. These two are reflecting off of each other, but okay, whatever I had to walk away from, I think this is what I was probably waiting for to reveal everything else in this read. As we move forward, as we understand the value of what we had to leave behind, the Tower, it had to break apart for a reason. We're going to come back to that in a second. Yep. And the Six of Pentacles, the long-term investment. All of that being under your Ten of Pentacles, Leo, is telling me you had a framework of, okay, this is what's going to be, this is what it's going to look like between me and this entire situation. Could be another party, could be a group of people, but regardless, we're saying we had a very fixed framework of not only A, what we wanted, but B, how we had a future set out that ultimately we had to accept. Boom, came to a crashing halt. Right, that Tower right here underneath a reflective Ten of Wands, and then that Six of Wands, which indicates the, you know, everyday investment we're making into it. That Tower very bluntly is saying, nope, that has to break apart. Right, it cannot stay. It is not meant for us. Hard acceptance, yes, but ultimately it is in our best interest, and that's something that we're trying to cope with or come to terms with, because it's not easy. A Tower moment is never easy. It is just there. Right, things crash, things burn for a reason. Ten of Wands, real Ten of Wands for Leo, first and last month of September. What is significant of the Ten of Wands located here in this read? The emotional burdens that we carry, where every torch lights the pathway. Show us the cards we need to see, please. Leo, first and last month of September. Ten of Wands. Hermit. The burden now is healing. Hermit is the card of Virgo. This is the season. This is the right time. But more so, it's about trusting our own wisdom that this choice was right. And I think it's very much reflecting back to that Ten of Cups. Just saying that, okay, now that we made the right decision, we have to heal from everything that was done. Now that the dust is settled, okay, what do we do now? Ace of Wands. Find ourselves again. As everything unfolds, the renewal of the human spirit, but also saying, hey, I know it's tough right now, but so am I. I know it's tough right now, but so am I. And lastly, Three of Pentacles. The value of friendship, but also finding yourself within workable dynamics and community. That Three of Pentacles saying, hey, my support system, at least from what I remember and what I know, it is still there. I just have to look for it, right? The answers I'm looking for, everything that we're trying to break away from the habit of, the thing that we said we would totally leave behind. Well, then the biggest thing right now is I got to remember that I am loved and wanted, right? And there's any sign that does that the best, it is you, Leo. That is your life of the party. That's why you're always represented by the Beast and Beastmaster, right? It's not just, oh, they're both tough and they both have an antagonistic relationship. It's actually they find mutual beneficial aspects between each other that, you know, make it the life of the party, or recognize the drive of spirit within the self that reflects within others. Ten of Swords. And so to the Ten of Swords, in forms of ultimatums and maybe sometimes painful conclusions, show the cards that we need to see, please, for Leo, first and last month of September. What are we looking at? Ten of Swords, King of Wands. Okay. Trying to make the best of a somewhat bad situation, right? Let's call it spade a spade. It may not be the most desirable, but hey, just like you said in the Ace of Pentacles, the conclusion, you're already mentally there. I think all of this is like a trifecta of reflecting off of each other, saying that, you know what, it is what it is. I'm still going to do my best. I'm still going to have the best opportunity that I can lay out if I try. Eight of Wands, now directly communicating, realizing just the emotional investment and also like the pain and everything within, but being able to say, you know what, I don't have to run away from this. I don't have to be afraid at all. Knight of Wands, and in knowing that fear is a part of you, right? And it is not the totality of you, we also say, and I can still move forward. Judgment, underneath it all, whether that be divine timing or a lesson to be learned here, well, show us what you got. Right? Life is tough, but so am I. Show us what you got. And that's the Leo that I'm looking at right now. Okay. Let's look across the board, please. Define all major arcana strewn across the table for Leo in their first and last read month of September. Let's start with, well, between that Fool and Temperance, I'm going to say I started looking at Temperance more, so maybe that's what's catching my eye. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, as we look at the major arcana across the table for Leo in their reading. In Temperance, what do we heal with time? The Nine of Pentacles, freedom. The power of the self, to find the self, but also what can we do for and by the self, right? What do we believe is our emotional in the beginning? We're finding us again. Queen of Pentacles, and also being comfortable when we get there, right? Finding our voice, finding our aptitude, also maybe even a renewal of purpose. Next, Wheel of Fortune. Temperance. Okay, reflexive again, that with time, not only does our circumstance change, right? The Wheel of Fortune ultimately represents the unintentional balance between chaos and order, right? The law of entropy, but also the notion that the only constant in the universe is change. We couple that with Temperance, card of Sagittarius, just like we did with our emotional beginning, here in our truth. Well, then as the situation has changed, so can I, and so can I do that for the better. Okay, I see you, Leo. Let's look towards you. Strength, card of Leo. Four of Pentacles, holding on to who we are, right? And it doesn't mean we're being stubborn or we're being unshakable or unmovable. It means that I see value in the me that is still left, even after I left whatever I need to behind. Yeah, let's look at the Magician. Four of Swords. Not only am I manifesting, but I'm doing it comfortably and I'm doing it at the right pace for me. Okay. Empress, Ten of Pentacles. Again, that tree of life is popping out so close to itself. But whatever choice this is, especially if this is career-based choice, Leo, what I am seeing is that I can do better for myself. I've taken what I needed to. Again, I had to leave something behind, but I've taken what I needed to and the best of me. And now saying, okay, time for me to firmly check on and grow my roots, right? Whatever we're trying to implant ourselves in, we're trying to say, hey, how can we make a life out of this? What is the most fertile, most productive version of me that can see all opportunity now that something had to get left behind? To the Tower, Wheel of Fortune. And that's what I'm saying. The Wheel of Fortune, as I was describing it earlier, locating that behind the tower is a destructive force that's beyond our control, right? And I know it gets such a bad rap because of just the level of impact and shock that it causes for people, but the tower coupled with that Wheel of Fortune, well, this was eventually bound to happen. Right? It was eventually going to happen to where, okay, if this was not sustainable, then you cannot see yourself here anymore. We may not have to like it, but we do got to live it. And there was one more. Oh, Hermit, the card of Virgo. High Priestess. Feeling, knowing the answers and ultimately our freedom, those answers are within, right? I don't have to look around. I don't have to say, hey, um, I'm starting from ground zero, starting from scratch. I have no experience, no nothing. In fact, it's the exact opposite. We're saying, I'm more than well equipped to handle this. Now, the biggest thing I have to do is try. And again, coupled with that meaning of the burden that you carry of finding yourself and the people that value you around you. I just noticed I'm placing them back on the card cases. Let's flip that. And lastly, resolution. Real cards of resolution for Leo and the read. What is held in space of resolution for Leo and the read. First and last month of September. Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so now we had to dig in for the long game. What is the further investment now that, again, all the things have settled and we're making our decisions? What does that actually mean and look like for you? Normally, I gather these all upright, and yet this one came out in the reverse. Three of Cups in the reverse. Resolution. No reunion is had. The meeting between myself and another broke apart. Okay. And just so you know, for my sign-based readings, and that's why it's kind of striking me as odd, I always collect the cards face up. In more individual one-on-one readings, for those of you who have had it with me before, those can flip out face down, etc., and they're gathered however they should be. But in these reads, it is very surprising that I find a card in reverse in the deck. And to have that Three of Cups in reverse for you, Leo, that probably remains to the separation. The long-term investment is not only on my own, but also breaking apart from whatever dynamic was once a mutually cohesive one, right? The Three of Cups represents emotional fulfillment through reunion, right? Three people bringing their cups. If one cup is the fulfillment of the self, two cups pour into each other. Okay, that's intimacy between two people. Three cups is a party, right? Having that in reverse, that's dancing on my own, right? That is saying, okay, here's where it's at and here's where it's going. Strength, card of Leo, you pop out again. So the resolution, you're gonna find your way alone. And again, the sentiment, life is tough, but so am I. And that's why having your read today, Leo. I hope that it helped. Again, good emotional renewals, good optimism. I like seeing that for you. And yeah, I think it's time to find you again. And I hope that you do. That's all I got in your read today. Hope to see you around. Come to the next one, okay? Bye.